Good morning, guys. How are you today? Another Monday. Yeah, let's get started. So, I know that today we have the market futures are way up, and I don't know. We kind of thought this was going to happen. I know they passed a stimulus bill in the House, so that's of course going to rally markets. I know in the next 2 weeks they're going to be voting on it in the Senate, so we'll see what happens there. I do not foresee anything. I mean, Democrats hold all three branches, so I don't see anything necessarily changing with that. But I do want to talk about the stimulus just for 1 second. And the big thing was prior to the election, we had all these Democratic cities that have been run by Democrats for a very long time that said that they were going to not open up and destroy businesses, this and that. New York, Chicago, many other liberal cities in the country. And we said that we weren't going to bail out those cities. Now, in this $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, we have $350 billion in there for state and local government relief. So these same cities that just destroyed themselves by not opening and doing it for whatever reasons that they did it for, I personally believe it was for the obvious reasons. And I think I'm right. But these cities and states should not be getting any money if they're going to do this and not let businesses operate when they could have been operating. To go in there and say that you have to minimize how many people are in your restaurant, et cetera, et cetera. Personal responsibility is gone from this country. If you're afraid of the plague, don't go out. Don't make me not go out. Don't make me wear a stupid mask. Don't make me do all these dumb things to protect your ass. If you don't want to go out and you're afraid of something, don't go out. It's not my responsibility to take care of you. And personal responsibility is definitely gone. So now we are giving away $300 billion in something, in money, that to these states that screwed themselves and screwed all of their local businesses and whatever. Okay. And of course, another $1,400 in checks going in, free money to people and whatever. Let's just go into more debt. So I think at this point, after this bill is passed, I think we're going to be hovering around $14 trillion in free money that we've given away to everybody. And I do not see any economic recovery on the horizon. We have job numbers coming out on Friday, so that'll give the real unemployment. The rumors are that the unemployment has ticked up, and which makes perfect sense. I mean, that you're destroying businesses. There's less jobs out there. And now we're going with minimum wage. So when we talk about the minimum wage, I want to talk about this interesting story that I saw from Costco. Why Costco pays 180,000 workers more than the minimum wage. So when we go back to, let's see, I highlighted a couple things. 2007. This is in 2007. The average worker at Costco was making $17 an hour. Now, what is Costco? It's a private business. Back when this was happening, the Congress was talking about increasing minimum wage to $7.25 an hour from $5.15. So this just goes to show you that private businesses, when they do well, when they have opportunities to do well, when they can afford to pay their employees, they are going to do it. And those of you that are very against big business and corporations and this and that, well, yeah, there are some that are taking advantage, but the majority of them, they want to pay their people. And you can't destroy these businesses and tax the hell out of them, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. You will never work for a broke person, ever. You're never going to. And if you've said that you've worked for a broke person before, you're a liar. And here's this, Biden backs off this minimum wage increase. But the point is, you don't need government to tell you to do this. Walmart increasing its wages. Last July, Target increased its wages. So all of these companies that are doing well, and if you give them the opportunity to do well, they will pay their workers more. And I thought that was a very interesting story. And government doesn't always have to be daddy. If you just let the private sector do their thing, it's going to be okay. And I want to talk about the 10-year note real quick. So last week we had a lot of turbulence in the markets, and that was due to, they said it was due to the swinging of the yield curve spiking up and down. Now, nothing in the environment, in the financial environment, changed. So if things don't change, why is there turbulence? Let me take that back. If things don't change and there is turbulence, most likely they're going to go back to what they were. Just because news comes out and markets go up and down and rates go this and that doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. There's no reasoning for it to stay that way. When you look back at what happened, let's go back to February and March of last year. What happened when we had, what was the reason that everything tanked? The reason that everything tanked, because COVID was just being talked about back then. Nothing happened. There was no hospitalizations. There was none of this going back to that time. The markets tanked incredibly because it was fears that we would get to the point of where we are at now. And now we are at this point and everything's just okay. So it's perfect example that things move on news, and when things actually do happen, people don't care, but whatever. All right. One last thing. Johnson & Johnson did their vaccine. I kind of like it because it's one shot. Its efficacy is a little bit less, but as I said on the live stream last Thursday, if their efficacy is 66% and it's a one-time shot, and I know that I'm going to be able to take it one time and not have to take it in another 18 months like the rumor is from Pfizer and Moderna, I'm going to take that one. But I'm not taking any of these, but I've already had the plague, so it doesn't matter. And also, they're talking about how many doses they can ship. We've already been listening to how many doses from Moderna and Pfizer are wasted because not enough people are taking them. And we look at this, I mean, I live in Cleveland, so I look at what the Cleveland Clinic says, the UH says, what Metro says. There's surveys out there that upwards of 60% of physicians and nurses are not going to take the vaccine. And people do have a bias. I mean, I'm going to listen to what a physician says. I'm not a doctor. I listen to a lot of my physician friends and their input of what they say. So the fact that they're shipping 100 million doses and then another 20 million by the end of March, I mean, you can say that's great. That good for them. But I'm not going to say that this is going to be a slam dunk thing. How many wasted doses are we going to have? How many of those doses are going to be taken? That's the more important thing. How many doses are doses are going to be taken? All right. What else do I have? Yeah, nothing there. Okay. So let's get into some stocks. Let me refresh this, make sure there's no new stories. And also, I want to know, so a lot of these companies like Moderna and Pfizer, the government paid them to do their research. So are they going to be the ones that are getting, are they going to be paid? That's what I want to know. Because I think that's a big reason why we didn't see Pfizer. I've had a lot of people saying that they bought into Pfizer. They thought it was going to go up. But Pfizer's not necessarily making money off of this. They just did the research. They were given a lot of money to do the research. So it's not like, yes, it was great brand recognition for them, but and it shows that they can get things done quickly. But is it going to be a revenue driver? That's the big question. That's something that you need to look at. This is where reading the 10K is important to see, do these companies get something for making these drugs? People that have COVID are still getting the vaccine. Why? Shouldn't they be immune? Well, Gil, that's what they tell us, but who knows? I want to look at this one. Seth sent this one over this morning. I don't know why this damn thing keeps zooming in and out. Sorry. All right. Oh, this small time company, they're saying that they came up with some kind of COVID vaccine. So I don't know how many vaccines we need. Getting a little excessive now, but this is one of those small companies that did something. Another one chasing COVID, and I know I think a lot of you guys know I do a lot of pharmaceutical investing, or I did do a lot of pharma investing. And anybody that started chasing COVID, I said, I'm done, because you need to stick with what you're good at. There was one company, it was called Cytodyne. I was heavily invested in them. They started chasing COVID. I spoke to their CEO and I said, you got to stick with what you're good at. And they went after COVID, and I mean, it's working out for them a little bit, but what is going to be their main driver is the things that they're good at. So vaccines only keep you from getting serious illness. Maybe. All right. I want to go back to one of my patrons. He said, let's see. I know you would prefer good companies, but can you look at Plug? I can look at Plug. And Kobe, it's not, when I'm looking at charts, I don't really care what the company is. I still don't want to do over-the-counter stocks. I do want to do blue chips. And I don't care if it's a good company or bad company, overvalued, undervalued, doesn't matter when it comes to the chart. It's just, I want to do non-OTCs. So looking at Plug right now, real quick, they are definitely in a downtrend, coming through the sweet spot very nicely. All this is a little bit of a snapback. I don't know, they probably had some news that came out or something, but all this is just a little bit of a snapback. We still have a great trend coming down. You're facing a little resistance here at this 50-day moving average. So just see what happens. And if you get some candlesticks that come down and you take out this area right here with a good engulfing candlestick, you Gucci. All right, let's see what else we got. Vaccine is still unknown how long it is good for. That's exactly my point. I don't know. And I mean, I'm very not into this vaccine because there is a reason that drugs take 10 years to develop and vaccines take 10 years to develop. Now, is there a lot of regulation? Yeah, there is. But in those 10 years, they learn a lot about the safety of these drugs and what they do. I know in the beginning when Pfizer was starting to come out, there was a lot of anaphylaxis. And that is, I mean, it's expected. You don't know. We don't have enough studies for these drugs to say that they're safe or not safe and what populations they're safe in. There's no possible way that they were able to do confident tests on multiple populations and come out with definite answers. It's just not possible. Rumor the plague is doing another round of mutations. Yippee. Let's see. What do you think of TBF as a hedge against inflation? Any other ideas? Tell me what TBF is. No telling. Even docs really don't know. Well, you're right. I mean, it's the same thing going to the vaccine. There's not enough information on this to know that. But Jay, I'm trusting physicians over all the other people I'm hearing because they have a different way of thinking about these things, and this is what they went to school and trained for. The best ways to avoid crowds and such. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. But Valencio, it's if you want to avoid the crowd, you avoid the crowd. Don't tell me I have to. And I'm not yelling at you or talking directly at you. You avoid the crowd. I am not avoiding the crowd. I am fine with this. Even if I hadn't had the plague, I'm still going out and taking my chances because I'm not letting something like this stop me. I know I'm healthy, and the odds of it affecting me are very, very little in a grand way. So again, let businesses go back to doing their thing. Let sports things go back to doing their thing. And I know that the reason that we're doing all this crap is because of the lawyers and lawsuits and whatnot. Antibodies decrease over time. Living in Japan also helps. Yeah, that's true. You should look at 3D printing stock, DDD. They are overvalued with recent dips. I think that's more of a value play. Orlando, tell me what the ticker symbol is. Can you imagine if the vaccine makes you sterile? I mean, I've heard that one out there. I don't know how true it is or whatnot. But again, how are you supposed to know? There's not enough. How do we know that the vaccine in 18 months is not going to start causing some kind of issues for an entire population? Somebody brought up a really great point the other day. We are giving all these vaccines to some of the most important people in our society. Doctors, nurses, police officers, EMT, firefighters. And now, what happens if 18 months something terrible happens with this vaccine, God forbid, and all of those people are taken out? Then what? Then what are we going to do about it? So there's a lot to be said for letting things develop and take time instead of rushing to the thing and trying to be a superhero solving every issue in the world. Virologists have compiled data that proves a decrease of severity of the illness. As far as decreasing the spread, that data is still being collected. Yeah, I guess so. It's an ETF shorting inverse. Yeah, I mean, these inverses, you can always use them as a hedge if you want to, Jordan. I mean, I'm not big into doing that kind of stuff, just at a personal level. Just make sure you know what is in these things and go from there. Just really be conscious, educate yourself on this before you get into something like that. How can you tell if a chart shows an opportunity for a shorting intraday trade? Can I understand? All right, David, I'm going to show you something on this 15-minute chart, and give me a second to find a stock. I'm trying to think of, Apple might be one. Okay, this is a good one. So I'm going to show you how to make a 15-minute trade on Apple. So this is, of course, going back to, what day is this? This is Thursday of last week. So first thing that you want to look for always is you want to make sure that your stochastic trend line is under 20%. So you always want to be under 20% and between 0 and 20%. That's where you want to be. If that stochastic line is not under 20%, you're not shorting this intraday. What we're going to do is then we're going to say, okay, once we're under there, we're going to make sure we get good engulfing candlesticks coming down. So this was at, let's see, 9:30, 9:40. This started at 10 a.m. We had a nice engulfing red candlestick coming down. You were under 20% and you stayed there for a little bit until about 10:30. That's when you started to get a little bit of a pop coming back up. Your trend just started creeping up on you. So once you break over that 20% area, that's when you want to get out and take your profits off the table. Worst case scenario, it drops back below 20% and you get in it. And you could have stayed in this from about probably 11:15, 11:10 something until almost 1 o'clock. And that's when you just ride this thing, just keep adding on engulfing candles. Add here, don't do anything here, add here, and add here. So that's how you do a 15-minute trade. If you're a patron, I did an entire shorting seminar. It is in the Discord somewhere or on the Patreon somewhere, and you can learn all about shorting. And it's very important to know how to short when we are coming into markets such as this, because there will be some kind of correction. Okay, the vax has not been tested on pregnant women. Yeah, if I was a pregnant woman, I would not be taking that. But I'm not a doctor. There's good research coming out of England and Israel regarding the Pfizer vaccine reducing its transmissibility as far as I also, that may be true. I haven't heard about that, but I also think that study should have been done before we started giving the masses that thingy. KP, I like it. My wife is a nurse. Okay. Mo, thanks. Let's see. In the last month, Apple has dipped 15%. Is 2020 is 121. So actually I was looking at my spreadsheet over here this morning. $85 is my high side on Apple, and I think I would probably crank that up to like $75 just because Apple's a company that I would be okay paying a premium for. So it's funny, my father was texting me about Apple this morning. He said, Stuart Varney said you have to buy it, so I have to buy it. So we're coming into this, we're in a great downtrend right now. But again, Apple's not something that I go short with. We ran right into the 100-day moving average, and we're just kind of sitting there. So getting a little bit of a snapback pop today. It's up 2% right now. Once this thing transitions into an uptrend like this, I am going to probably be adding to Apple on a chart somewhere. And I bet I'm going to see some kind of resistance up here around 140. So just keep an eye on it. If you want to do it from a trading perspective, you just got to get your trend going upward, or you can do a day trade on this. Apple is one of those bigger companies that you can actually day trade and get some good movement out of. Cheer up, Mo. Actually, I'm really cheer today. I had a good weekend. I don't think Apple will drop more than 100. It might not. There was a lot of people that said that Apple wouldn't get down to close to 200 during March and February and March, and it got to $214 coming from whatever it was at before the split, like 340 or something. So it's possible. Thought about looking at Apple since it's a downtrend, get it when it's low. Yeah, just make sure the trend turns up on you a little bit. Man, Apple's a hot topic. I asked TraderMo in the Discord. He said should wait. Yeah, that's right. The new Apple headphones are sweet. Mason, the new Apple headphones are awesome, but I don't understand the price at all. Sony ones are so much better, and they fold up, and I really don't understand why. I don't understand why. I'm laughing at Abdon. He is a patron, and he knows all about my dating life. You may not be a doctor, but I hear you have good contact. Yeah, that's true. You should allow us to buy you a coffee and enable super chats. I do like coffee. Neo is reporting earnings today after the market closed. Swing trade. So, Elias, I never trade earnings. That is my big rule. I never ever trade earnings because I don't want to. Hold on one second. Contact Don. Don, my brother's going to be contacting you. I never trade earnings because they're totally unpredictable. Neo can come out with, well, Neo's not going to come out with great real earnings, but Neo can come out with something that's going to say that they're doing well, and just you're going to get that fluctuation up or down, and it could be totally against what you were thinking. So if you want to do a day trade, go for it. Just make sure you're using stops. Market looks like it's gapping up today. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to do, let's look at the S&P SPY chart. Let's talk about the SPY because we haven't done this before. So let's zoom out. Man, SPY itself is a power stock. So guys, I do have a friend who trades one stock per year, long and short, and it's the SPY ETF. All he does is trade one stock per year, and this guy, he's probably making $250,000 a year. I mean, granted, he has a lot of capital, but that's my point. You can literally trade one stock up and down if you learn how to go short, and you can do very well. Just look how tight this cluster is going up. This is for sure a power stock overall over major moving averages. So that is SPY, but let's get into it right now. So it's turning on us a little bit, and that's only because of last week. We do have a little bit of a spike up in price today. I assume that at some point this thing is just going to stay above 80% and keep going sideways. And we're going to get some engulfing candlesticks like this. I do believe that we're going to break out over this high, especially with more stimulus. Do I think that the market should come back? 100%. Do I foresee that happening anytime soon? No. But I could be totally wrong. That's just my guess. Somebody wants to talk about Tesla. Tell me what you want to talk about. Buy the AirPods Max or buy 4 shares of Apple, which lasts longer. Yeah. I do want those. No, I don't want those AirPods Max. I have the regular AirPods, and they're awesome. I love them. AMD. Let's see here. Pretty good company. So we definitely, a lot of resistance to fight here, which is fine because AMD is one of those companies that has a lot of great volume. So we are in an uptrend. Got a little bit of a gap. If you get some kind of engulfment today like this, you can go ahead. If you get a candlestick like that over here, go for it. I would really like to see this thing a little bit more pointing in the upward direction, but it should be okay. Just know that you're going to run into a 100-day moving average, and make sure you're taking your profits going in there. You have a 100-day at 88.06, so you got about a little over $2 to run for yourself. So that is what I would do there. Let's see. What else you guys got? You know, I was looking at the news this morning. There was nothing in the news. Let's see here. Let's go back to Yahoo Find. Oh, there we go. That's fine. Good morning, Moby. Man, look at this. Just keeps going higher and higher. Palantir, is that the name of it? PLTR. Okay, so you are in a downtrend. If you want to because you have your 100-day moving average right here, and it looks like it's been 100 days for maybe 3 days, so it's probably a 103-day-old stock. You can put a, a tracker share on here if you want, and just see if this thing can turn up on you. I mean, you're only going to spend $25 right now. So let's say Palantir goes belly up, they go broke, you lose $25. So just if you want to, I would throw a tracker share on long, see what happens. You can throw a tracker share on short if you want to, but a little bit oversold. What's up, Jacob? Dropbox. Everybody loves Dropbox. I just don't get it. This service, I remember when Dropbox first came out, I was one of the first users on there because I've always been like a tech nerd, but my God, their service sucks compared to iCloud and Google Drive. I don't know. I don't get the obsession with Dropbox. So you're for sure in a downtrend right now. If you don't have shares, you can throw a tracker share on there. If you do have shares, just be patient. You're going to probably bounce off of this 50-day moving average, but once you get some candlesticks and break down through here, you're going to be fine. And that's Dropbox. So it's definitely a short. Let me look at the long term real quick. Oh yeah, so you have a lot of resistance. This is a very heavy support line right here and resistance line. So you are going to have to be very patient with this. They're buying back 1 billion shares. Wonderful. Nothing like companies that are terrible going ahead and buying more shares. The only company that I foresee being okay right now is Dropbox was ahead of the... Neil, you're right. Dropbox was leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, and they haven't kept up with the competition. I'm okay with stock share buybacks even like CCL. It's not ideal, but I get it. They're in dire situation. They've been hit pretty hard by something that they can't control. They're being basically told they can't do things by the government, which is a little bit wrong, but Dropbox is not in that situation. Dropbox reminds me of Sanofi, the drug company Sanofi. They had the same drug as Johnson & Johnson 15 years ago. They had the drug that Johnson & Johnson just got approved. And it took Johnson & Johnson 4 years to get that drug out from start to finish. And it took Sanofi 15 years to get that drug out. So it kind of reminds me of them. They're ahead of the curve and then they fall right behind. So let's see here. Jimmy, I'm not anti-vax. Do whatever you want. My biggest thing, it's not anti-vax. It's personal responsibility. Go get the vaccine. If you want to, it's personal choice. I'm just a big person and not being told what to do, especially by the government. And I think Paul agrees with me, and I'm not pushing anti-vax. If you want to go get the vaccine, go get the vaccine. I have a lot of friends that have gotten the vaccine. I'm very happy that they can get the vaccine. I want everybody to get the vaccine that can get the vaccine. That is perfectly fine with me. Do I think it's effective? Yeah, I do. It's just, but I'm not in any way an anti-vaxxer. I take all vaccines. If I had a kid, I would give him the vaccine, but don't put words in my mouth. Hey, what do you think of GM? Let's look at GM. Everybody just jumps to conclusions that they take whatever they want to hear and just roll with it instead of paying attention to what people are saying. And that's exactly where we get fake news. So downward trend, if you want to do something with GM, big bid and ask difference right here. But you're moving into the 25 days, so you might bounce off that. If you can do something, you can get some good engulfing candlesticks going down, break through that 49.50 area like this, you'll be okay. But this is a tough one to trade. Let's see. Tyler, I like that. My point is we just need more research. Can we short a Twitter swing trade? Let's see. Twitter. Ooh, the market opens soon. That's a tough one. I don't think I would do that. I think there's better options out there. if you fall below this resistance line today, you fall back down, then you can probably do something. But I don't think I would do anything right now with Twitter going short. That's a good question, though. But this is one of those ones where you kind of just sit back and let the trade come to you and don't go after it. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, Spicer. Amigo Loans. Did you cover it? UK company. If you give me a ticker, if I have it, I'll do it. What do you think about Lordstown? I mean, it's down the road. I know what they're doing. If you want to give me the ticker, I'll look at it. Thanks for FSR tip last week. Got it at 19. Right now, it's close to the 52-week high. When do you think would be good to get more? Let me look. Okay, there's something wrong here. Hold on. Let me refresh. Oh, all right. If you want to go in and grab more, just go ahead and go up like this and just get some candlesticks. But if you can break over this, over the previous high with a good engulfing candlestick, go for it. And I'm glad that worked out for you. That's great. I'm glad to see there's a lot of people that are saying that this is working for them. They're learning. What am I watching this week? I'm looking at AMCX. Neil, I gotcha. Exxon boom. Exxon's going to go with all oil, so we'll see what happens. Oh, Ride, that's right. Somebody Ride in Lordstown, but I think they're Nikola 2.0. That's funny. Let's look at Ride real quick. Big downtrend. You might want to see when earnings are. I don't know. I don't see any big swings on this chart, so I'm assuming that earnings are going to come sometime soon. But it is a downtrend right now. Again, it's holding some kind of, if you draw this line across, it's holding a support. So you're going to have to get through this support line. And was that 1850? Yep, correlates right here, 1850. And you have your 200-day moving average right there. So just break through here. And yes. Market is up 400. Close the markets. Yeah, good one. I'm reading articles on engulfing candlesticks now. Any resources that you would recommend? To be honest with you, Matt, if you just stick with me and learn from me, you'll be okay. And I don't say that to keep you on this channel. I say that because I learned from myself. I learned from another person, but this is all self-taught. I've never read any books. I've never taken any courses, anything like that. So I'm not saying that to keep you here, but I am telling you the way I trade is extremely simple. It's working for a lot of people in the Patreon. Humble is right by a long shot. But if you want to learn more, and I don't recognize, maybe your name is different in the Discord, but if you want to learn more, join the Mo's Muscles Patreon. It's $49 a month. It's only going to go up from here. You get full access to me. I make short videos every day. I'll answer your charting questions. I'll answer your individual stock questions. Eventually I'll come out with my own charts, and you will do very well if you stick to this. BAT. This is the last stock I'm going to look at, and then I'll get out of here. Do I have it? I don't have it. I don't have European ones, but I can, if you send it to me in the Discord, and I'll look it up on another one. Oh, BTI. Thanks, Spicer. Yeah, here we go. Oh my goodness. Holy. Okay, so it's consolidating over the past almost year. Yeah, actually consolidating over the last year. We are in a downtrend right now. Okay, whoever said this one, with all of these gaps, literally every day is a gap for this company. You have to use stops when you use this. This is one of those ones that I am only day trading. I would not do any investing in this company, even from a charting perspective. So the candlesticks is the indication of action. People are buying it, so you can assume the price will go up. I guess you can say it that way. Listen, the biggest thing to remember when you're charting is follow your trend. The trend is your friend. The candlesticks move day to day, but the overall trend is what you do. I have a friend. He's the one who trades the S&P. He completely gets rid of all of this. So he just completely blacks out Let's see here. He blacks this out. He blacks out candlesticks. He doesn't care what candlesticks do. He doesn't care what price does on the S&P. And he blacks out all of his pricing. And all he does is he trades the this trend. That's it. That's all he does is trades trend. And he makes a lot of money doing it, and he's very good at it. Because if you follow your trend, you will do well. So candlesticks give you indications of when buying volume is coming in and such, but the trend is the most important thing and the thing that will make you the most money. How do you set up the chart on the left? Inside the Discord, KC, there in the Patreon announcements, there is a PowerPoint setup. There's a PowerPoint in there that tells you exactly how to set up your charts like mine. You can, it'll show you all the studies and everything, but it's on TradingView. I think that TradingView is a pretty good platform and it's free. What's the benefit of shorting stocks over buying options? Ben, that's a good question. If you're, well, first of all, you're not doing options on a chart. So you can go ahead and get in on stocks just as if you're going long. So in my shorting seminar, I said, and it really is true. Let me pull up a better stock than this one. But all shorting is on a chart is you are taking your chart and literally just flipping it upside down. That's all it is. So if we're looking at going, let's say long on something, we're in the sweet spot right here. All we're doing is letting it go long, adding on engulfing candlesticks, going up, and taking profits when you get a reversal. When you're short, your sweet spot is coming down through the sweet spot. All you're doing is adding on candlesticks, engulfing candlesticks that are coming down, and you're taking profits when you get your trend reverses. So all that shorting is just an opposite. You just flip your chart upside down, and that's what shorting is. And people make it way too complicated for what it is. Of course, it's different when you're doing it from a value perspective, but when you're doing it from this perspective, a chart, it really doesn't make a difference. Somebody just said Tesla's doing something. What happened? I don't know what happened, but all right. I guess that's it for today. If you guys want to talk to me more, join the Patreon, join the Mo's Muscles. I'll be in there today. I'm going to go answer some questions right now. I see I have some kind of notifications going on down here. And let's see what happens and go from there. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow on the live stream if nothing chaotic happens, and we'll go from there. And to Jimmy, go get vaccinated. See ya.